No free advertising here. No, sir. No free advertising here, bro. Blur the Dickies on my overalls. Huh? What do you mean? Prep what? I don't even know what we're talking about. This is my prep right here. So then you didn't prep. This is the prep right here. Episode 1?
This is episode 1. Yeah.
Welcome to episode 1 of the STAX Show.
STAX Show.
We out here, Syl Cole.
Well, are you the host or am I the host?
I know, I'm like taking over your whole channel.
Welcome to the STAX Show, everyone. As you can see, we have today here, as he already introduced himself.
Did I?
Syl Cole. Yeah, my roommate, Syl Cole.
Syl Cole. We're live from our living room.
So this is take 2, to be fully transparent, because last time I was cheerleading with the mic. I was all over the place.
Technical difficulties.
Bouncing, we're back.
So we're doing it one more time.
I haven't had you in the channel in a while now.
Yeah.
So tell us, what have you been up to?
It's been maybe a couple years. Been hopping around, been getting into... I worked at Urban Outfitters, quit Urban Outfitters, then started working at the church, Live Church in Mountain View. I do full-time film, creative work there. And yeah, just been doing that.
Yeah. So you do mostly film or design?
Yeah. So, I mean, not too much design now, but more like creative producing for a lot of things. So, like video directing for shoots, editing, storyboards, filmmaking stuff. It looks different day to day, but it's just creative work.
Yeah. That's pretty sick. That's pretty sick. I feel like you've been popping on Instagram lately.
Have I?
Going crazy with the photography.
Yeah, that's been. It's funny. I always liked taking photos like on my phone.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. I didn't even realize it was like, quote unquote, street photography.
I feel like it's a whole aesthetic, like iPhone photography.
Yeah, I literally was on this whole wave in high school where I was just like, I'm only going to take pictures on my iPhone.
Right, yeah.
I'm not going to edit them because just raw.
Yeah.
I mean, I had film cameras, you use the disposables, but like I didn't really get into it until October of last year. So it hasn't even been that long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just remember telling you, bro, just get a camera and whatnot. But you're like, dude, nah. iPhone photos.
Yeah, I literally was like
really
anti-camera.
Anti-camera.
Yeah. How long have you been doing photography and stuff like that?
I feel like I've been doing this stuff since STAX, so 2020.
You got into that stuff before me.
Yeah, I think that. So I was never really into photography like that. I knew design, but I didn't do photography. But then we started a clothing brand, and first thing we did when we got our first sample was do the shoot.
Yeah.
At the VTA, remember?
So
we were like, dude, we can't shoot.
It was probably on like a Rebel, huh?
It was a Rebel T7.
Yeah, it was like Canon Rebel.
So
we literally thought we were like...
We were it, yeah. And I remember we were right by Five Guys. We had just bought the camera at Target. We skated to Five Guys and we did like already the shoot.
Yeah, we literally skipped school to do like a photo shoot for this like clothing thing that we were doing. And we literally pulled up the next day like we were the freaking kings of the school. Like literally like we were like... Mark Zuckerberg, like we're about to be like millionaires because of
the next guys. Yeah,
we literally thought we were them.
But yeah, I mean that was my first camera. I then started to play around with the camera because I remember I bought the camera out of pocket.
Yeah.
So I was like, we're gonna need a camera from the brand. Might as well just get one.
For those who don't know, Lucas is. I literally call him, dude. What? I don't know if you guys can hear that beeping.
Pick that up.
It probably is not getting picked up, but there's something happening out there.
What is it?
I don't know. It sounds like. But for that ADHD, bro.
Seriously.
But for those of you who don't know, I actually call Lucas Inspector Gadget because this dude literally has everything about anything. He's just like, yeah, bro, like brushing my teeth was too long, so I got this automatic toothbrusher that like you've got literally gadgets. This dude has gadgets for literally everything. Why don't you tell the people a little bit about
I don't even know
game?
What gadgets you're talking about. So I summoned Syl to my room the other day. I have a motion sensor lights.
Literally,
that's just because it's an inconvenience to go and turn on my light. I was like, yo, check this out. And when he opened my closet, the lights. Boom.
Bro has like these like Disneyland looking lights in his closet, like a whole roller. You don't even turn your lights. He walks in his room. Hey Google, lights on. You don't even turn them on, bro.
I mean, the Google thing has just changed my life, and I gave you one.
Yeah,
I
haven't
swear
set it
by
up
it.
yet.
I swear by it.
I literally have the what's it called? The smart bulbs in my Amazon cart.
Damn, but your room, have you been doing a lot of? Have you done a lot of the things you wanted to do?
My room, let's just say, is in phase 1, which is just make it livable. So when I came, I had to get a bed, get the desk set up, all of that. So I have the very, very bare minimum basics in my room right now.
Yeah.
Now we're entering phase 2 where, you start decorating a little bit. You get your nightstand, your coffee table stuff and the mirrors and the paintings and all the decor stuff. So, yeah.
What do you think about, like, the whole furniture space, like IKEA and such? Some people don't like shopping at IKEA.
Dude, it's
I like IKEA as a business.
Maze
what do you think about
in there. I think if you're like, obviously, all right, furniture aside, let's just talk this store.
Yeah, exactly.
IKEA is the most inconvenient place to go. I don't know what the IKEAs around you are, but the closest IKEA to us is the one in Palo Alto.
No, but listen.
You go in there and it's like there's no connection because it's the concrete ceilings or whatever.
Yeah.
So I get in there and I can't use
service.
my phone. And then on top of that, it's a freaking maze.
I'm
like going in there looking for like hangers. And I'm in like the bathroom section and I can't get out. And then I'm like asking the employees, hey, like, how do I get to the hangers? They're like, oh, yeah, go up the stairs, make a left, make another right, take 2 flights down the stairs, go back up 1 more flight of stairs, do a loop-de-doo, and then you're there. And I'm like, what? Bro, what? Yeah.
All right, but do you know the ethos behind that, though?
Ethos behind what?
Behind the design of IKEA.
No.
It's intentional. Hi, Star.
Hey, Star. How you doing? Oh, no, you're totally fine.
You're good.
Sorry, it's like right by the door.
Okay, there's the ethos behind the design of the IKEA store. It's not by accident.
What is the ethos?
All right, so you know how like capitalism forces you to buy things that you don't need, like consumerism. It's like that concept of consumerism, but in reality. So you get into IKEA, you have no choice
but to walk through all of those things.
But to walk through all those things, and you're getting sold to and marketed to all throughout. And then your phone doesn't work, so you don't have any outside information besides what they give you.
Do you think it works, though?
Absolutely.
Does it work on you?
Come on, you never been walking through IKEA to get somewhere, then you're like, oh, yeah, I need
Nah, bro. When I walk in there, I'm on
mission.
Purpose? I'm like in, out. I'm here to get hangers.
But you know what?
I'm here to get a nightstand, and that's it.
I just take the L. Look, I realized that this is the concept. I fell for it, and I might as well just walk.
Nah, dude. I have, when it comes to like, there's 2 types of shopping. There's the shopping where you're literally like, I'm in here to get something, and I'm in and out. And then there's like the pleasure shopping, or I'd say there's 3 kinds of the pleasure shopping where you're just like taking your time, like, let's see what I stumble across. And then the third is just window shopping where you're like, I ain't got no money to buy any of this stuff, but I'm just gonna look at it. But normally, if I'm on IKEA, I'm not window shopping and I'm not leisurely going through seeing what I end up finding. When I go to IKEA, I don't like being in there for too long. I'm like in there to get a thing and then I'm out.
Most people that I know have a problem with the ethos of just like
getting marketed to.
And and you have no choice
and all of that stuff.
And you're forced to walk around the whole store.
Honestly,
it's like for me, it's whatever.
It's like, are you really going to IKEA that much?
Yeah, I just need a nightstand. In fact, I need a nightstand right now. The one that I have, it's
dude.
Really
but the thing too is, I don't know if this is part of the quote unquote ethos of IKEA, but you go on their app, at least in the area we are, and it's like, oh yeah, like shopping made easy. Like just put everything in your cart and you can get it either delivered to you or pick it up at the store. But then everything that is in our store is out of stock. So all this stuff I need,
so it's like deceiving, huh?
They'll be like, cannot deliver to this address, so you have to go in store. So they force me to go into the store. Yeah. So,
and I feel like even for pickup, you might have to walk the whole store.
Yeah, you probably have to go to like the back of the dungeon.
Yeah, and then at that point, you already found something.
And then even the kids have the play structure thing to keep them in there forever.
So that's what I'm saying. That's what the people have a problem
Interesting.
with.
I mean,
yeah. So you never thought about it like that?
I've literally never thought of it like that.
Yeah.
I've probably. I'm complaining so much about going into IKEA, but I kid you not, I've probably only been to IKEA like 4 times in my whole life.
No way, really?
Yeah.
I thought IKEA was a whole thing. In fact, I think that some people from our high school got their prom pictures at IKEA. The class of 2019.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I think they went to IKEA.
No, you're right. You're right. The class right before us, they did take their... And that's actually where I got the idea of taking our prom photos in Whole Foods.
That was a horrible idea, by the way. In retrospect, I mean, you got to be honest.
I had this idea, this genius idea. I was like, hey, like, we're
by the
having
way, this
prom.
was the era where you were on some different stuff. Like, you were just trying to be that guy.
Yeah, in high school, it was a different story. I was like, anything that people were doing that was quote unquote normal, I was just like, well, I'm just gonna do the complete opposite of that. So that being said, there was like everyone was gonna take their prom photos at like the typical places, like these hotels and the gardens, and I was just like, nah, let's go take our prom photos at Whole Foods.
Winter ball,
like the winter dance thing. Yeah, I didn't go to that for some reason. Yeah, I don't remember.
But we had when it's funny. It was COVID, our senior year. Yeah. And we thought it was going to be like a 2 weeks thing, right?
Yeah.
So during the 2 weeks, we were planning the toughest prom fits.
I have the funniest story about actually finding out about school getting canceled for COVID. So I'm literally in detention. And this is not like normal detention. It was just like, I think it was for skating on campus. Oh, but it was like the detention that, we didn't have school that Friday. Yeah. Because they had canceled it because of COVID, and they were like, they were still Friday. Yeah, they were still dealing with it, but I had detention, so we had to go in anyway. So it's like detention. It's Friday, and everyone has the day off, and then they let us out early. Yeah, and then they announced to us that we're not going to have school for the next 2 weeks because there's this like COVID-19 thing. And we like left the detention pumped. They gave us Gatorades and the leftover pizza that was in the cafeteria. Yeah. So we're literally like leaving detention
early,
like 3 hours early, because I think it was like 5 hours or something. Yeah. And we're literally leaving like 3 hours early, and we're just like, bro, like it's about to be early spring break. Like we're gonna be out. Facts, yeah. It's gonna be sick. Like COVID break. Like we let's thought it was go. Like an extended spring break. Yeah, we literally thought it was an early spring break. Yeah. And then we're in it, and then it's just like the first day it was cool. The first couple of days it was cool, and then all of a sudden it's just like global pandemic. Everything shuts down. We're like, hey, wait, yo, like we thought this was like gonna be like our time,
bro. To be honest, I thought it was some BS, bro. I thought they were just like doing the most.
And we literally were like, hey, yo, it'll last a month. It'll just be a month, and then we're back. We're back.
I remember us being like, there's no way this is canceling prom. Like we were like, we were like so sure.
It was senior year, and it's literally right before like all the senior stuff. We had nothing. All the senior celebrations, like the senior sunset.
We only had the sunrise.
Prom. That is it. We didn't have any.
And our graduation was the most boof.
It was YouTube live stream. You can literally look up Wilcox class of 2020 graduation on YouTube. Yeah. And that was our graduation. That was it. We literally watched it on the couch.
We were in Nevada. We weren't even in Reno because there was no point.
Yeah, we were literally like in Reno randomly.
Yeah. They called our names and we just went like, I guess I graduated.
It's like sick. There I am on the live stream.
But yeah, I mean, dude, how did we get here?
I really don't remember.
That was so random. We were talking about film.
Rabbit holes. We literally, that's the thing about these podcasts that they don't tell you.
I have questions, topics. But I haven't even looked at them yet.
Let's get into it then. Go ahead and read one.
This is when I used to be a graphic designer. And I would like sketch stuff like that.
Dang.
That's how I would make logos.
Oh, you just sketch it and then try to bring it in.
See it in my head. Like think about it and then try to put it on paper. Let me show the audience. Probably can't see, but you had a YouTube video where you had some car problems. By the way, you gotta check out Syl's YouTube channel. I'll be link in the description. But so yeah, in the public eye, you had some car problems, and we just never figured out what happened after. So, do you still drive the Kitty Mobile, or what's going on?
I had this 2002 black Honda Accord. I got it for $300.
But it was fine.
No, dude. I got that thing for $300. I think that was technically the first car I ever purchased. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure. I had my, right when I got my license, I had
Beamer.
My dad's BMW. That thing, I ran it till it died, and then the first car I ever purchased was that 2002 black Honda Accord.
And keep in mind, when Syl went to buy this car, and I've always been a Ford guy, and I sent him tons of Ford Rangers, and then there were some Crown Victoria, some cars that I thought that he should get. And he was like, dude, the budget is way too big.
Don't buy American, first of all.
Yeah, and he was like, don't buy American. It's like not good. I'm going to buy Japanese. It's going to be really good. Hondas don't break. That was his speech.
Because they don't break. They don't break, except for this one, apparently.
Keep that in mind as he gets into the story.
I pull up. I get the car. Go check it out. It's driving fine. This car had like Hello Kitty mats, Hello Kitty steering wheel. That's why it was called the Kitty Mobile. And that thing, dude, every single week, every single week, it was like
It was something.
something was happening. Something was breaking. Something was
I think
falling
off the
apart.
bat, it was already like burning oil, right?
I don't even remember.
Yeah, I think off the bat, it was already burning oil, and you had a check engine light.
But yeah, I remember that day I made that video. It was already like a week of like just going back and forth to the shop, and as a joke, I was filming this like vlog thing for YouTube.
Yeah, I was filming you. We were at the
Literally just for
SJSU
fun.
library.
Yeah, and I get in the car and I turn on the car, and I was just like, we're about to go somewhere, and I was like, I turned the car off, and I was like, no, Lucas, you got to film it. Like, look, I'm gonna rev the engine. It's gonna be funny, right? And I go
because you were gonna put like Lambo sounds on top of it.
Yeah, and I go to put the keys in, and I go, and it just goes, tick, tick, and it doesn't turn on, and I was like,
No
wait,
way.
what? And you can literally see like my
In the
face.
video, yeah.
I was like hella laughing, and then my face just
Boom.
drops, and then I'm just like, why isn't it turning on?
Yeah.
And I'm in like a 1 hour parking spot. So like every hour we had to come back, and I had to pay
for the
for
parking
it
until it hit 6 p.m.
Until it hit 6
and
p.m.
it was like 4.
Yeah, and then I had to get it like towed.
No, I think they would only let you do like 30 minutes because we came back so
No,
many times.
yeah. It was 30-minute parking.
30
So
minute
every
parking.
30 minutes I had to come back and like pay for another 30 minutes.
And while we're trying to figure out, do we get a tow? Is it and then meanwhile we put 30 minutes, dude. We forgot about this. We put 30 minutes on and we raced to AutoZone because we thought it was.
I thought it was the battery, so I took the battery out and
Spent
then
200 bucks
like
already.
skated all the way to
100
AutoZone
bucks.
or something like that.
No, we drove my car. Was
it?
Yeah, we went.
Oh,
because
right.
it was
It was
all
your
the
car.
way at the Shark Stadium.
Drove all the way to AutoZone. Drove the AutoZone, dropped off the battery to charge, drove back, paid for more parking, drove back to AutoZone,
Yep.
picked up the battery, drove back, put the battery in the car, and it still wasn't turning on. I actually don't remember what it ended up being. But
Yeah, I don't remember. I was trying to think about that right now. I don't remember what it was either.
I don't know.
It had to be like a
Something.
starter or something because he wasn't even cranking, huh?
No, I literally don't remember what it was, but it was
Yeah.
funny. That was a funny time.
Was that the knockout for that card? Was that KO?
No,
No, huh?
that car still had like a couple more months before it just was.
What was
done.
the
final blow?
Yeah. What was the final blow? The last straw.
I can't remember, but I just remember the fix that it needed
Yeah.
was gonna cost like a couple racks, and then even after it was fixed, they're just telling me since the car was so old, all of these things are not bad now, but would need to get replaced in the near future.
Yeah.
And then just the cost, the math wasn't mathing,
Yeah.
and so I had to let it go.
Yeah. At that time, were you saving up for a new car, or
No, I was just like, dude, I just bought this Honda.
Yeah.
It's gonna last me a couple years
Yeah.
because Hondas don't break, except if you're the Kitty Mobile, then that one broke for sure.
so then you sold it right to the junkyard?
I think no, not even a junkyard. This dude came and bought it.
Oh yeah.
So I bought the car for $300, and I sold it for, I think I sold it to him for $900, and it wasn't even like
Yeah.
barely running.
Yeah.
So I came up on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I came up.
Even after the repairs and stuff.
Well, actually, if you're coming
Yeah.
in, if you're
That's what I'm
considering
thinking.
all the repairs and stuff, I definitely lost money on that car.
Yeah. Yeah. It happens, you know.
But it was
Do you remember
$300.
that- do you remember that
It was
Corv-
$300.
do you remember that Corvette that I had?
Yes, that never ran.
It never ran. I mean, it ran.
Didn't even have a
but
transmission.
the transmission didn't work. And it was like the simplest of jobs, true. I feel like I could have done it.
I don't know. Replacing a whole transmission doesn't sound that simple to me, but
Hey, bro. I can do all things. Who gonna carry the boats? Hey, you seen that video?
No.
The David Goggins who
No.
gonna carry the boats?
No, I haven't.
And there's this guy. He's like a ex Navy SEAL,
Mhm.
but he used to be like super fat.
Oh yeah,
He
I
used
know
to
who
be,
you're talking about.
300 pounds.
He's the bald guy, right?
yeah.
I know exactly what you're
And he
talking
used to work killing roaches. So his story is just so funny because he then became a Navy SEAL. And I think I might be wrong. Producer, fact check me on this one.
about. Producer.
Swears. But I think he won the most amount of awards in like the Navy SEAL program or something. Like he's the most awarded.
Oh shoot, I don't know. You can look it up after.
Yeah, but anyways, there's this clip that's super famous that he's like bench pressing, and he's just like, "You don't know me, son. You don't know me, son. Who gonna carry the boats and the logs?" So That became like a huge meme because at first it was like a
Is it on that,
motivational
was
speech.
it during the whole like Sigma male wave?
So that's when this thing became a meme. So this thing has been out for a minute, but he during the
super straight movement.
yeah, during that people picked up on it, and they were like, "Dude, this is it."
What are your thoughts on the super straight movement?
Oh man, what are my thoughts?
Get
on
into
super
some
straight?
controversy.
I mean, I think it's valid. I'm not gonna lie.
Facts.
You know,
Yeah.
because I mean, you got all kinds of settings. Oh, presets.
Presets is wild. Presets is wild.
Yeah, you got a big variety of playlists out there. So, I feel like choosing one that represents you, like, you know, I think that's valid.
So you identify as super straight?
Hey, listen, I want to keep my job. But I do. How do you say this without getting canceled? I do acknowledge the movement.
You acknowledge the super straight
Yes, I empathize.
movement. You empathize with the
Yeah.
super straight. All right, you
How about
heard
you?
it here.
What do you think?
Super straight. What is the definition of super straight?
It's like you are a cisgen. You are a person that is only attracted to someone
A person.
of the opposite sex. Yeah.
No, isn't it like? Isn't it? Well, correct
Yeah,
me if I'm
like
wrong.
you-
Isn't
you-
it straight male attracted to straight female?
No, because you can be super straight women as well.
Oh, so
Yeah.
there's a super straight female.
Super straight
movement
just
too.
means you are strictly attracted to the.
straight gender attracted to the opposite straight gender.
Yeah.
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah, I definitely
Like,
identify as
default
super
settings.
straight. My girlfriend is straight. I am straight. She's a
So you're-
girl.
so
I'm
you
a
g-
guy.
so you got the default
I guess we're
playlist?
just the default playlist.
The default preset?
The default preset. The original.
Yeah, the OEM,
The OG.
the raw file.
The raw file, unedited, uncompressed.
Oh man, this is so funny.
Oh man.
You know, it's crazy how like to keep on that subject. It was. I feel like things were going so left during like pandemic and like 2021 and stuff and 2022 even. I think once the pandemic started wearing down, then it stopped. I think people had enough, and then it shifted hella far right, and that's why you had this like Sigma male wave and
Yeah.
Andrew Tate. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I think
during
a
during
lot
the
of it,
pandemic, it
though-
was really left, and then as it started going back to like the middle or going back to normal, it just like everybody was like, you know what, like actually like nah, let's go right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think it had a lot to do with one being everyone's locked up, everyone's got nothing to do, so everyone's just on the internet, and then there is the whole like Trump wave too, and then there was
Now, you know what it is?
What?
What it is that for too long we were told what you do, when to do, and how to do, and then at some point you just start saying, "Wait,
Nah.
why?"
Yeah.
No, like just say why. You know, not even
Just
like,
asking
nah.
questions.
Yeah.
Mm.
So then I think that everybody, like obviously some people were earlier to it, like off the bat, some people were already like nah.
Yeah.
But I think that as the pandemic kept going and the data didn't support the policies,
Right.
people were like, no,
The math ain't mathing.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I think that with that there was a big awakening, and that's why I think the people that woke up and they were so into it, like so far deep,
Right.
they just had like an epiphany, and that's when they shot up, right? Like they shot
Yeah.
up really right.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
That
I
makes
think I
sense.
think actually like not even an opinion. I think that's what happened. And I
Yeah.
think that that's going to really play a role into this election because people now aren't being as manipulated as they were before.
Right.
Like think about the election were 2020, right? Like 2019, all you saw on Instagram were politics.
Right.
Remember that?
Everyone
It
was
so
a
annoying.
everyone was a politician.
Right, exactly.
Everyone was
Everybody's
an activist.
Petition.
Yeah.
And do you see politics now?
Bro.
I never see. It's
Never.
almost embarrassing talking about politics.
Yeah.
Like, you're like
Yeah,
you're
it's almost
weird.
cringe.
But yeah,
2020 was such a political year. People were coming out like who I've never even like heard spell the word politics.
Yeah.
Are all of a sudden these
Activists.
crazy activists.
Yeah.
I personally never hopped on the wave. Still.
I know, and I feel like you never did, even when it was the heat of the thing.
Even
you know?
peak like everyone.
Yeah.
This is
And
like-
I feel like I wish I had done that because I did get into it, but from the opposite side.
I think it's like definitely go like.
But you know what?
All for it, standing up for what you believe in. But I just feel
At
like
what cost, though?
But I think just in the moment when everyone is on this wave of everyone's just trying to be the loudest voice in the room.
Yeah.
I feel like there's some say when it's just like, okay, I'm just gonna let the noise die down.
Yeah.
And then maybe I'll share my opinion on this once it's like calmed down. Because sharing your like loud opinion in the midst of a million other loud opinions, I don't think is gonna make any change or any difference.
But you know what I think now, though? I think it's just like it doesn't matter. I just think it doesn't matter. Like, why does why do you have to like voice this belief when you post stuff, especially online? You don't have to like. Not everybody's gonna agree with you. That's impossible.
Yeah.
How are like I
can't please everyone.
Yeah, I have like over 1,000 people that follow me. There's no way they're all gonna agree with me.
Right.
You know? So what's the point of you posting something that's gonna be polarizing?
On purpose.
On purpose, and you know
some people just like pushing buttons.
Yeah, but that you should be like me. So that's what I was saying. That I wish I had that mentality that you do have, and that when that was going on, that I just said, you know what, I don't agree with that, but like I don't have to voice it.
Right.
And what I was doing is that I was posting things that I believed in.
That were intentionally pushing buttons.
Not only that, but I just thought that people should believe in it too. Because if I believe in it, you should believe in it too. And then I'm right and you're wrong.
Right.
It's not like that. Especially when I had a really big biased opinion in the household that I lived in. You know, so I lived with somebody that had a really strong opinion about these things. So it's almost like I didn't even do any research. I just took what
just
he
word of
told
mouth.
me. Yeah. And I took that as face value.
Fact. Yeah.
So
and that's what a lot of people do anyway.
Right.
But on the subject of kind of like putting your opinions out there, what do you think about the people who literally post every single detail of their life? Like they wake up, morning coffee,
Yeah, I know you're
morning
like
breakfast, go morning gym workout. I think I was like, literally their whole life is on display.
This is like a deeper convo, I feel like. Now it's interesting you asked me that because I think that you got to think about the role of social media in people's lives now. Well, like when you think about, just like you think about the mall and sports and the gym and things that people do, social media is an activity now. So it's it's a public square. Like it's something that people do. It's a place,
like a meeting place.
Yeah, it's a place where people go to
common
do
place.
things. So when you think about social media, is social media meant to be like an exchange of information, or is it supposed to be an exchange of connection? So, for example, when I follow UFC, or I follow like the UN, like a page that's like a business, right? That gives me information. Or when I follow you, those are two different purposes of following. So I feel like I would want to see what you are up to.
Yeah.
And then I would
like
also
as a friend.
Exactly.
But at the same time, be informed.
I want to be
an organization.
Yeah. But then influencers, they kind of like, they have a weird gray area because
middle ground.
They provide you with entertainment. And that's different because you want to know what they're up to, but you also want to get some sort of like some sort of value from what you're watching. You know, like you don't want to just watch somebody's live for no reason. Like you get some sort of value from that.
Yeah.
And then to go back to what you were asking about, like regular people, I think that at the end of the day, a lot of people want to be like that. Like in a way, an influencer.
Well, want to be like their own influencer in their own world.
They want to receive like attention. So that's what
even
it's
the private accounts though.
Yeah.
Really?
Because even though you have a private account, you still seek validation from your inner circle.
That gratification.
Yeah.
Someone swipes up, bro.
Exactly.
You post your breakfast, bro. That looks so good. Like what recipe or like at the gym? Bro, goals. Like I'm trying to be like you on that gym grind.
It's crazy. I don't think you even know about this, but people like are very strategic about like stories. Like it's a whole thing.
What is the story strategy? Break it down. Break it down. I'm curious.
I'm gonna teach Syl.
Teach me the story strategy.
Have you heard of a soft launch?
Yeah, like with couples.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not like that under the rocks.
Okay,
I know hard launch, soft launch is.
Okay, for sure. But like,
I'm not a grandpa.
There's like, it's kind of like that. Like people strategize stories like that. So I would post like a picture, and it's like my breakfast, right?
Okay.
But you can see that I'm in like a rooftop in LA, for example.
Oh, so you put the location.
Yes, and you put the location.
So it's like bait.
Exactly. So it's always kind of like that. And then people are like,
interesting.
wait, what? He's in LA?
Like who's he with?
Exactly.
People start asking questions.
So I'll post like a mirror selfie, right? But then you see like a hair and like the side, like you know, like you see a little hand. That's I don't be doing all that. Should be clear. I don't be
People
doing
really on this?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. That's where social media has gone.
That's crazy. That
We,
it's like
we
literally a
I think
strategic
that
game.
everybody thinks that they're in like a mysterious music video. And
Yeah, they're the main character.
Yeah, and they have
What's
to be on
the,
some like catch me if you can type vibes.
I think when I don't have a story strategy. You can tell by my highlights, but
you just post whatever.
Yeah, just whatever I'm feeling. But I think, what's the saying, head empty, no thoughts? Is that from a song?
Yeah.
Or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
There's like the saying, I don't know if it's from a song or a meme, but it's like head empty, no thoughts. That's literally me when I'm posting stories.
You just post it?
Yeah, like I'll just post like just random pictures from my camera. But I'll do it like once a quarter. I don't know. Like once in a while. Like once, I don't know. I don't even time it, but I just like.
That's cool.
Oh, I haven't put on my stories in a while, and then I'll just dump like 10 photos and then just be gone for like 3 weeks.
I wish I could be as careless as you are about that. Because I have to stick to my aesthetic.
Aesthetic.
Yeah, I have to stick to the.
What's the aesthetic?
The vibes. It's just, man, I can't explain it. It's like Polo Ralph Lauren, Porsche,
business casual.
Yeah, I just
feel like we're going back to the
Did
Sigma male wave.
Did I show you my Pinterest board? Right? Yeah,
dude, the Pinterest board. We were comparing Pinterest boards earlier. How would you describe my Pinterest board?
Your Pinterest board is like Tyler the Creator. I'm gonna just say things that I make me when I look at your Pinterest board. This is what I think of.
Okay,
I got Tyler the Creator, pastel colors. Blonde by Frank Ocean, and then Emma Chamberlain, tote bags.
Oh, you're making me sound like some soft boy or something, dude.
Hey, am I wrong?
Sound like some soft boy.
Am I wrong?
I'm definitely not on the soft boy aesthetic.
Okay,
when have you ever catch me rocking pastel colors?
You're
all right. Besides the hey yo,
there's no shot.
I'm wearing a crochet hat now, but I'm normally rocking
pastel.
Okay, that's like the one pastel thing I have in my closet. I'm normally rocking all black.
All right.
On any given
day.
That
is facts. Okay, that is
you
facts.
can probably catch me. I'm probably wearing all black.
Always rocking black, yeah.
Yeah.
What is my Pinterest board?
Dude, Lucas's Pinterest board is like gym photos, like suits. What's that one? Sure. What's that one movie that everyone like? American Psycho.
It's actually unhealthy how much American Psycho is in my Pinterest board. Why do people obsess over American Psycho?
You tell me. You're the American Psycho fan, bro.
But isn't it kind of messed up?
The movie's twisted as hell. I watched it once.
Great film, by the way.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
Sure.
Well, it's a good novel, so it's easy to make a good movie out of a good novel.
Yeah. I watched that movie once, and I was just like, I think I'd be fine if I never watched this again.
No shot, really?
Yeah, I think I like. Okay, so I like movies that are on the edge, but that one is just so far out of pocket.
But what about you watch Kill Bill?
Kill Bill's like different though.
That's so
like,
gory.
I don't think it's gory. Like the action in that movie is almost like comical. Like she's like the ending scene is like she's fighting like 100 of these like gang members,
and she wins
with samurai swords, and she's like cutting heads off, and they're like, blah, and it's like in black and white. It's like it's literally almost like comedy.
Yeah,
like it's not like gore, like Chainsaw Massacre or like you know those like gory horror movies. Like, it's not like that. Like it's like almost funny. Like it's funny action. But yeah, that movie's just sick. Like that movie. If you could pick 3 movies to describe your aesthetic,
really,
I'll go next, but you go. I would say Kill Bill is definitely one of them.
Before we get into that, I did want to say that I had a realization very recently.
Elaborate.
That changed the way that I watch movies nowadays.
Wow, enlighten us, please.
So this is gonna sound really dumb, and I'm asking you to try.
Before you say anything, did you find this on TikTok?
No, I did not.
You came to this your self-realization. All right, I'm listening.
All right, but I'm asking you, please try hardest not to think I'm like special ed. But here's the thing.
No promises.
I was watching a movie, and this guy was like screaming. The movie is There Will Be Blood.
Is that a horror movie?
No. It's a drama. It's a really good drama. I actually think you should watch it. Non-fiction. It's about a guy that drills to find oil. I told you about this.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Actually, we should watch it pretty soon. But there's a scene where they're like fighting, and this guy is acting so convincing, right? Mm-hmm. And that's when I went, wait a minute, this guy's acting like when they say action, he just like does this on command. Like he just no listen.
It's his full-time job,
like,
bro.
He's like this. He's like chilling, and they go. He's like chilling, and they go action, and he just starts screaming, bro.
I don't think it's like that. He's probably got to get in the zone.
No, yeah,
Like,
obviously.
you don't just like cold start.
I know, but I'm saying like, what I'm saying is this guy after they say cut, he was just screaming his lungs out. Like in the scene, he just got his like hand chopped or something. Like he's screaming enough for me to believe that that's real. But when they say cut, it's like, oh man, that was good. He just goes, oh. And he was just screaming his lungs out like he just got his hand cut off.
That's the job.
Like, but that's what I'm saying. Like that changed the way I watch movies.
Really?
Now. Yeah.
So
because, because now,
how do you watch movies now then? Like, what did it change?
Now I'm thinking about when they say action and after they say cut. Like this guy was really just acting right now. Like I think that's crazy.
Like
so I was watching.
character.
So the other day I was watching. I was in
Glorious Bastards.
Another scene just
Another
like
Quentin Tarantino.
yeah, and then I was just like, man, like this is crazy.
That's a good one.
That's crazy that they just do this.
Yeah.
Like that. Like that's not real. That's what I mean. That what they're doing is not actually happening. And for me, it's so good that for this whole time, I never really stopped to think about this. That it's not real. Like it's a movie.
Yeah, it's like a set.
Yeah.
That's where like this. I feel like a big thing is too like the storytelling, like the way the sound design, the camera movement, the lighting, like how all of those things like add to the storytelling to make it feel like it's you're in it. Like it's what's crazy about like filmmaking, because like I do a lot of like that stuff for work, is your biggest job is to try to make it like make things feel like they're not there.
Yeah.
So you don't want it to like, you don't want to feel the cuts as it cuts from scene to scene. You want it to be seamless. Like you don't want it to feel like it's like we're being lit in a studio right now. You don't want it to like feel like this, and you want to show, don't tell. And it's like you don't want to feel like, oh, they're changing the songs right now.
So
like,
I always got that
being seamless.
I always understood that very well from a production side. So when I was watching movies, I always thought about how like about that, like how they made it intentionally, like, oh, how do they do this scene that way? I don't even see the lights. I don't even imagine how it's being lit. Yeah. So I thought about that before, but now I thought about it from an acting standpoint.
So you switch gears.
Yeah, so I switched gears on that.
Yeah.
So you always thought it like that? Like,
yeah, I think
you always appreciated the acting.
As soon as I think it's the moment you start getting into like videography, photography, like those things, those are just like, it's just constantly how my brain is thinking. Like I'll be walking down the street and I'll see the way the sun is like backlighting a tree, and then I'm just like, oh, that'd be an amazing photo. Or just like constantly like thinking of like lighting and different compositions. And I think especially when you're watching movies, it's like I can't unsee it. Like every time I'm watching a movie, I'm thinking about like, oh, like the Foley artist probably had to do something like this to get this sort of sound.
Right.
They're using this as motivated lighting so that you don't blah, blah, blah. They're doing this camera movement because of this. They're blocking them like this because of this. And I think it's genuinely like, I think it's so cool, but at the same time, it's just like, you can almost never just sit down and like watch a movie.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Like ignorance is almost bliss sometimes. I've got some friends who like are not into like, they think it's like that stuff is like cool, but they're just not into like film or anything like that. And they'll like, hey, let's watch this movie, and I'm like, we're not watching that. That's complete trash. Like I'm not spending time watching that.
And for them,
they're like, you're so pretentious. Like you can never just like watch something. You've always got to like judge and critique.
Dude,
but it's like you can't unsee it. Like once you start learning that stuff,
feel you.
It's everywhere.
I feel you 100%. But that was I've been having that since we started doing like film, like you said. But now I just had that same thing before.
Just with acting.
But you probably had the same thing for acting since you started theater.
Yeah, I did theater. I've been doing, well, I mean, I don't do theater anymore. I'm not in school. But since I was in elementary school, so from elementary school all the way to senior year of high school, I was in theater. Like I was in plays.
Do you feel like you could still act one day?
I don't know.
Now you understand production a lot from a production standpoint, as in cameras. But
it's funny because like I started a lot of these things like being like, let's say like on the other side of the camera,
right? And
now that I'm on like behind the lens sort of thing, I actually find a lot more. I mean, there's pros and cons to both.
Which one do you find more enjoyment in?
I honestly like being behind the camera a little bit more, but I think I've got like a little bit of a unique perspective as like all like growing up, I was always like in front of the cameras, like on stage, different things like that.
But I think that you naturally have this, and then even in when we were in school, you always were like a big personality.
I think that's the thing though. Like when we're in like theater, I would never say that I'm like a good actor per se. I never thought of my great actor, but what I do know that I have is I know I have stage presence. They call it like in theater. Like the biggest thing is like, can you carry the room? Can you captivate like attention? Like I think growing up like in high school and stuff and in theater, I think I had a really strong stage presence. I would never say that I was like a really strong actor. I mean, I would always like I'd be open. I've done like, modeling stuff, like even someone the other day just sent me an email for a script that I was reading through. But honestly, I don't see myself ever like wanting or like craving like, oh, I want to be in front of the camera on this shoot.
You think there's a lot of money in acting? Because I mean, obviously, if you're a protagonist, but I mean, like people that do like supporting roles or
supporting roles. I mean,
like again, actors that haven't like.
It depends on the budget of the movie. It's something like a Marvel movie. If you're the supporting role from there, you're still probably making millions. But I'd say it's funny. I'm just wrapping up this TV show called Barry. It's on HBO Max.
I love that show. Actually, I need to get on it.
He's like a more like. Big picture, high level. He's like this assassin type of dude, and he wants to quit and become an actor in LA.
Right.
But I feel like when it's like that level, when you're trying to break into the industry, you're broke. Like you need to be doing something on the side. Like everyone trying to make it in LA is probably working at a coffee shop or something like that.
No, but you know why I say that is because like a scene where like a guy walks in a coffee shop and he orders something and then like he flirts with the barista, so they show. So that's like, that barista, for example, that's like in one scene. Yeah. She's still like an actress, but she's just like a normie actress. She's like,
not high.
She's like Bob from
not
accounting.
Big budget. Yeah. They're still getting paid for that.
That's what I'm saying. Do you think there's money in that though? That's specific.
Oh, just doing those like just random side characters.
This is what I'm saying. At that point, you are an actor. You're just on like a blockbuster. Like,
I mean, I don't think it's definitely like enough to completely support yourself. You probably have to have like a side. That's probably like. I mean, that's probably like your passion, and then you've got like your side hustle that's like fueling, like your
so at that point,
way
then
of
you're
life.
just doing auditions for bigger roles, huh?
You it's building your resume. So it's like you start off with probably doing like really low budget, like I don't know, maybe a friend's short film, indie movies, and then maybe you break into some like I don't know, more mainstream like commercials or like you score like a smaller budget movie or a bigger budget movie, like a smaller role, and then you kind of work your way up from there. But I mean, it's a grind. I remember I wanted to be in like elementary school when I was doing theater. I was like, oh yeah, I want to be an actor.
Oh really? Yeah.
That life is tough.
It's a grind.
It can be pretty toxic too. I think same thing with like modeling industry as well. Yeah. Lots of. I feel like just this whole bag of worms in that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's what I was thinking about. How, financially, I don't think that's a good career.
I mean, you could say that about anything. Like I think anything like passion wise in like in the arts. Like for example, there was the beginning.
But I feel like a music producer would have an easier time breaking into the job market than like an actor.
It depends. Here's the thing. It really depends.
Actor, you're not really good at anything besides acting. No, I mean,
bro, like throwing shade to every single actor in the world.
I mean, like STEM wise.
Like in terms of like a skill.
Yeah.
So like their passion is
doesn't
like very
yield
niche.
any real life application because when you think about music,
I see what you're saying.
You can still go work at like a music shop, or you can like produce music.
Right, it's applicable to like real life per se.
So the reason why I was asking you about salary like that is because I remember when we were growing up, money was definitely important to you. But I remember having a conversation with you one day, and you just said like, yeah, like I definitely want to be like doing well and stuff, but as long as I had like, I think there were a few things you named me like XYZ, and I'm able to maintain XYZ. Like I don't really have like I don't need to like conquer the world like as far as money goes. Like you were telling me how you felt about money then, and I remember that was fascinating to me because I had that like, oh no, like I have to like buy a Lamborghini and like a rooftop. Like I thought that for me to be completed, I had to achieve those purchases or those achieve those levels of status.
Mm.
So how does that sit with you now that you're grown? Because we had this convo maybe
This was in high
17,
school.
16. Yeah, when
I think the way I view money now is I want to. How do I say this? I think when people think of money, they're like, or like when people are thinking like, oh, I'm like, I want to get to this amount so I can make it. So for what? So I can buy like the car, the house, the bling, and all of that stuff. Is I don't think I really desire that aspect of like making it, but what I do desire in terms of money is like, okay, how can I set myself up in a way that I'm able to like give back to community, give back to the building the church, give back to like building like other people, friends, and like in when people are in need, like how can I set myself up to be in that position to give, you know? So for example, it's like I desire a house, not so that I just have a big house, so I'm just balling and I'm like ready to flex on everyone.
Yeah.
But you know, like I want to have a family one day, so it's like, do they have a place where they can come in, and then do we have a space where like I could have people over? I could have like the homie needs to crash on the couch. I'm not in a space where I'm like, oh, sorry, like I live in a 1-bedroom like studio. There's like not really anywhere to go. So I think my idea of money has shifted a little bit. Is where I'm trying to make as much money now as quick as possible, but I wouldn't say like my motives are like kind of not in like the traditional sense. I'm trying to buy the car. I'm trying to buy.
I think your motives are not. They're not based solely on monetary value acquisition. Like it's not only about getting the money.
So I think even if I'm not able to like, let's just think long term. Like, okay, one day I'm gonna buy a house. Even if I'm not at that stage now, just having that in the back of mind or being like conscious that that is something that is coming up, I think is important. So it's like thinking ahead, because if I'm like, you know, and how do I do that with the steps in front of me now? Practically making a budget, having savings, doing investing, putting my money in this, trying to, you know, do freelance on the side, having a job. Like those things are getting me like one step closer.
I think that for me, I think what works is building just good habits.
Right.
Building good financial habits and maintaining them.
Mm-hmm. And
it's hard for you to break it's hard for you to break a habit once you've already like made it a habit.
And it comes down to what's called, there's this book called Atomic Habits, but one of the things that it talks about is marginal gains, where it's like basically like, and this is like a different analogy. I don't think it's from this book per se, but think about like course correcting. If you're on a ship and you're aiming for the island, and you what they're doing is they're constantly making micro adjustments to keep themselves on track. Now what's hard is when you've got this big ship and you realize you're all the way off course, now having to use all this energy and resources to steer all the way back, when instead if you just make these tiny little adjustments, micro adjustments every day, every week, blah 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 blah, it amounts for so much in the long run.
That's the same thing for investing though, and that's why you told me that you wanted to get more into investing this year.
Yeah, I mean, I've dipped I feel like, I mean, I don't want to say everyone does because I can't speak for everyone, but I've dipped my toe in investing, like, especially in 2020. When you're just,
but
like,
I think everybody, I don't think everybody did, actually. I think that a lot of guys did. But I know a lot of girls, and I don't know if this is like a thing, a gender thing, but I feel like guys did. But a lot of girls don't even have like savings account.
I think generally, though, is because the man is the provider of the house. Yeah. And I think even too, like
on a natural level though, because they could go and open their Robin account.
But forget even being the provider of the house. For example, the guy is the one who pays for dates. The guy is the one who buys the ring. The guy is the one who does XYZ. So I think just like instinctually,
it's 2023, bro. What are you doing?
What you mean?
What are you doing?
Hey, super straight, bro. Super straight.
but also I agree with you. But that's the type of man that you and I want to be. Like leaders. But some guys
don't think about that.
Some guys don't think about that.
They're just thinking about their frat.
Yeah. Shade, bro. No, but like I think that's a mentality that a mindset that you and I both share. But not everybody thinks of that. Some people would be okay with their like being a house husband, like
house husband is wild.
I'm not kidding. Yeah.
Dang.
I wouldn't want to do that personally. How about you?
I don't think I ever Well, no, I don't want to be in the position where like I'm just sitting back doing nothing. Like,
No, you take care of
while,
kids,
like,
obviously.
my future wife is just like doing all the work.
Grinding it
I
out.
think if there's like, a season where it's like, oh, maybe I'm stepping away from work to like work on a business or do
Yeah.
something like that.
No, that's different. I'm
I think
talking
that's a
about
little bit different.
you handle the household. Your wife goes and conquer the bread.
Nah, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, I think for sure if like I'm definitely all for like women like go out and work, earn your money, blah 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 blah. But
No,
I
yeah,
don't think it
on
should
a-
be at the I don't think it should be like the guy is doing nothing while the girl is like doing all the earning.
Yeah.
Um,
I think okay. So on a policy,
having it being like if both of you guys are working,
yeah,
both of you are earning money for supporting each other, that's great. If the guy is working out, providing for the family, that's great. If the girl's working, the guy's doing nothing, bro, there's a problem there.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that this might be a hot take, but I don't want to date somebody that makes more than me. And that's just personal because so I think that from a policy or like public like general like acceptance like whatever society expects of you, I think it's fine if a girl makes more money than a guy. Like I think it's fine. From a like societal thing, I think it's fine. But personally, I want to be making more money than my wife because the thing is, I want my wife to be like to be independent to do the things that she wants to do and not be in debt to her job. Like I want to be like providing to the point where if she wants to work and you have a career that you love, go for it. Like I will support you, and then I will even like work from home if you want to go work.
Yeah,
and you know I got to take care of the kids. Like if that's the reason, then yes. But if my wife is just working because she has to work, I don't think I'm doing a good job as a husband.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think in that sense, I see what you're saying. If my wife if we're both working or both doing whatever, and my wife happens to make more money than me, I don't think that's an issue.
Yeah, it's fine.
I think as long as you're able to still lead the household, because at the end of the
So
day,
you think
when
you can
you're
lead the
married,
household while making less? What do you think?
I think at the end of the day, if you're married, it's one. Like, yeah, you're having like, let's say it's 2 income streams.
Yeah.
You got my money's your money's my money. So
Yeah.
as long as you're able to like lead in the right direction, like for example, like financial decisions, blah 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 blah.
Right,
Obviously, it's a partnership, but you know every ship has a captain and a co-captain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, you're pulling some weight as far as planning and thinking
exactly.
about the stuff.
As long as you're like still like leading, like
Yeah.
going first, making sure that you're like
Taking care of
steering
it,
things in the right direction. If the girl makes more money, it doesn't matter.
I see what you're saying.
My money's your money, your money's my money.
I think no, and that's what I think it's healthy.
Yeah.
But I know that I want to be.
Yeah.
I want to be the leader.
I can see though, like having that kind of like wanting to have that ownership of like,
Yeah.
I'm providing.
I think I would
so that
take
you
pride
don't
in
have
it.
to.
I think I would say I would be happy to say, yeah, like I make more money than you, but that's not a big like that's not.
It's not like something I'm like. It's
I'm
not like
flexing on
I'm
you.
better than you.
No, it's just
it's like
me
I'm
saying,
doing this for you.
It's just me saying like
Yeah.
you know if you want to stop doing this, like I got you.
No,
Yeah,
that's
that's
no.
what I mean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that makes sense.
And I think that my potential, like my future wife, would want you because I think that women enjoy raising kids. I think they truly do. So I think that if she wanted to stop working for a couple of years and just raise kids, I think that
The maternal instinct.
yeah, it would kick in, and she'd be like, you know what, I don't even want to go work I don't want to go work my finance job. I don't want to work my graphic design job. You know, like I think nothing will be bigger than raising your kid. When the time comes, I think that now, especially being in uni, I think that girls don't really see that, and it goes back to me asking you. Yeah, it goes back to me asking you if you thought about your life like that.
Yeah,
'Cause I have.
I
But most
already
people
know
haven't.
I already know the steps that are next. You know,
Yeah.
it's I'm working full time. It's like I already know like okay, what are my goals career wise? What are my goals relationship wise? What are my goals? And like even creatively, like with starting things, and you gotta have vision for your life, or else you're just there's no direction.
Yeah, exactly.
Vision is giving you direction. It gives you something to work towards. It's important.
Yeah. All right. It's been a pleasure having you here.
Yeah.
So speaking about direction, to finish off on a high note here, we want to see what direction you're taking this YouTube channel.
The direction I'm taking my YouTube channel?
Yeah. We want
To the loyal 40 subscribers on my YouTube channel, there is more to come.
There's more to come.
Be on the lookout.
I think
Be on the
this
lookout.
guy has a couple of videos in the in the chamber, in the stove, cooking up.
Couple stuff in the stoves cooking.
Stove cooking up.
Couple in the chamber getting ready to launch.
Ready to go. Yeah.
Be ready. Who knows what's happening? Who knows? Maybe the website will come back.
You just never know with this guy. You
never know.
This is the thing about Syl. He always keeps you on your toes.
Right when you think you have me, I will.
He's right behind you.
Do something else. Right when you think you're ahead, you realize
he's been behind you the whole time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You heard it here.
Syl Cole, the legend. Thanks for coming.
Of course.
It's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Cut.
That was good.